After watching this video, you will know the number one reason for most breakups, so why most couples won't last, or even like marriages at some point. And yeah, that way you will know which mistake specifically to avoid, or which mistakes, because there's actually more of them. But yeah, before we jump into the whole thing, just a quick shout out to you, because instead of like watching some, I don't know, some yeah, highly dopaminergic stuff like Instagram Reels or TikTok, you decided to watch some informational stuff, some informational content on YouTube. And just that puts you above like 95% of people or of men. So respect to you for that. Now, for more education like this, from my part, subscribe to this YouTube video, subscribe to this channel, and for more of like my private life, and if you want to join me on my journey, then you can follow me on IG. My tag is _smn.b. Now, the biggest reason for breakups is actually losing attraction, and I'm almost shocked at how many people don't really get this, or how many people actually make mistakes that lead to the loss of attraction. For example, I saw this in my parents as well, and a lot of other relationships I've seen fall apart right beside me up until this point. Now, how can you avoid that? There's a lot of things going into this, into attraction, and I will hardly cover everything there is in this video. I will make more videos about this in the future, about like some other things, but the most important that I can, or that I could think of like right now, are the following. You were somebody completely else in the beginning. This has to do with like authenticity, and the problem with that is if you were playing somebody completely different than who to who you actually are, then after some time, if you get into a relationship, your real self will shine through. And the problem is that your partner fell in love with that persona you played in the beginning and not your real self, and so that is that's a huge problem, and that may lead to the loss of attraction from your partner. So you gotta kind of stay authentic, but staying authentic is weird advice, and there's a big problem with that, since if you're like, you know, your who you actually are is changeable, and you should change. That's the problem. So yeah, being authentic is a little bit more complicated, but I made an entire video about this, which is in the link, and the link for that video is in the top of the description, so you can watch this right after this, because this is quite important to understand, honestly. But I hope you get the point here. Now, the second thing is you don't take care of yourself anymore, so you start to like look worse. For example, you stop going to the gym, or you start eating junk food. It's stop dressing nicely, buying new clothes, and I see this all the time, and this is really bad. You should avoid this at all costs. You have to put effort into a relationship and into yourself in order to stay attractive. And if you're not really willing to do that, then you don't really get to complain if your partner loses attraction pretty quickly. So that's a big point here. The next one is you stop growing, and with that I mean you stopped. You stayed like in the same position for the entire fucking time. If you know. You gotta start new things. You gotta constantly reinvent yourself, and that's also what makes people attractive in a weird way. And so, if you like stop growing personally, so you stop, seeking more knowledge or different experiences, or you stop trying to grow a specific business or your career, whatever it is, that can lead to the loss of attraction pretty quickly. And I hope you can see why that is the case. But it's a big one. So keep growing essentially. And next thing is you do boring shit all the time. And this is bad. You gotta switch things up, bring some variety into, for example, the dates you should, by the way, never stop going to dates, and yeah, bring some novelty into this, not just like dates, also when it comes to like fucking, having sex. You should like don't do missionary for 3 minutes every single day. That kills, bro. That will fucking kill your relationship. That will that would be so fucking bad. So yeah, do some exciting shit. Don't just do boring stuff. This is going to kill your relationship ASAP. Now, next thing is, and this is quite, maybe it's a bit controversial, but I found this to be the case for myself, and I've seen this in other relationships as well. And maybe you can relate. The thing is, if you spend too much time together, and I mean with that, literally every single day, 24/7, for multiple months on end, you quickly lose attraction, because the thing is, not only will they quickly get to see every single thing of you, and attraction also comes with a certain kind of like mystery, or are there more things to find out about a certain person. But it's also the case that if you're being around the person too much, you don't have time to want them, in a sense, because if you're absent, or if your partner is absent, you want him more, right? This creates this craving, this feeling of, fuck, I really want this person to be around me right now. And if you're together all the fucking time, then that feeling is absent. Like, it literally cannot be there. And that feeling is basically attraction. And so it's a form of attraction. And so you gotta figure out for yourself how you want to handle this. Especially if you like live together, it's a bit more complicated. But you should maybe go on, on a trip like for an entire day where your partner's not with you or whatever. So yeah, too much time together, in my opinion, can definitely kill a relationship. If you, by the way, if you disagree with any of those things I say, or if you want to add something, then write your thoughts in the comments. Literally right fucking now. Next thing is keep it sexual. Attraction is has to do so much with being sexual in a way for your partner. You should also like sexualize your partner a lot. That will definitely help with that as well. But you should definitely keep it sexual. If your relationship turns asexual, I mean, it's okay if you're like maybe 60, 70, I don't know. But anything before that is basically unacceptable. And especially if you're like a man. For a man, if your brain, you can like kind of like asexualize your brain or whatever. But for women, it's like, I think it's a bit more complicated. If you cannot quite deliver that like sexual part, you're fucked, bro. You're honestly fucked. Yeah, and that's the biggest things I could think of right now. As I said, that's by far not everything. I will go into much more detail as well in future videos. So you should subscribe for those videos if you want to see them. And as I said, comment if you got any thoughts on this video. And you can also like this video or share if you want to see more educational stuff in general on your YouTube feed, since that will promote videos like this much more than some clickbaity bullshit. So yeah, that's that would be a benefit for you, obviously. And so as I said, my Instagram is _smn.b if you want to see more of my personal life. And yeah, keep crushing, bro. Never stop growing, and let's fucking go.